What do you think now is the relationship between the UK and India, the fifth global economy joining hands with the sixth global economy? Do you think that's going to strengthen relationships now we have an Indian origin prime minister? Or do you think some people are saying he's going to be extra hard on Indians to show that he's very neutral to the British public, towards India, and loyal to just Britain? I personally think he's in a really good position. He can have the best of both worlds, and if he manages it correctly, he can be. Do you know how we have we have Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh?
Okay.
So we have the creator, we have the destroyer, but in the middle, the very important position of sustainer. If he brings those Parititya values to the prime ministerial role, I think if he handles it very well, he can make things really happen beyond all of our imagination to great heights.
Well, this is the heart of the matter, really. Remember, there's that famous saying, East is East and West is West, and never the twain shall meet.
Yes.
And so either they're going to meet and embrace, or it's going to be a head-on collision. And the issue is, will he embrace his dharmic instincts and his dharmic intuition? Even though intellectually he may have some of the, shall we say, the education and the conditioning and the value system, which is not necessarily dharmic, but intuition always plays a part. And those sanskar that we acquire from our mothers, our grandparents, grandfathers, and parents, they become the foundations of how we choose to decide things. And so, we have now in place probably the most energetic Samudra Manthan about to start in the British establishment. Bear this in mind, that on the one hand, we have the Western idea of playing the great game, which is to create divide and rule, which is to create conflict and fault lines and then sell weapons, to engage in regime change so that you can extract resources. All of those things are totally adharmic. And frankly speaking, all of those things are the reason why the West is plunging into chaos as we speak, because they are adharmic. The East, however, has always had light. As they say, ex oriente lux, ex occidente lex. From the East comes light, and from the West comes law. And so, we have a combination of those factors also combining now within the premises of 10 Downing Street. If he allows himself to embrace the Eastern philosophies, the longer term perspectives, the notion that we are all connected, and so what harms one ultimately harms everybody, all of those teachings might even enable the British establishment to move from its ancestral orientation of rape, pillage, create conflict, and sell weapons into a more holistic way of existing in the world. And I think if he does try and do that, Bharat is actually ready to embrace and support that. Can you imagine? Bharat has 28 states? And all the ones where the BJP have been established have shown dramatic leaps forward in terms of economic performance. The mortality rate has plunged, child infancy, death rates, all of those have, the factors look like dramatic developments are occurring. And if Britain behaves like the 29th state on some levels, even if it's only the friendly diplomatic levels, then I think Britain will accrue a great deal of benefit. I do hope Rishi places at his highest priority the well-being of the people of these islands, the common people on these islands, because for a long period of time, the establishment has been running its own little game and has neglected the average man on the street. And the person who is picking up the tab for all of these adventurism expeditions that have been embarked on ever since the various interventions in other countries, if those are what have detracted and prevented the establishment from delivering the promise of economic benefit to the people. If he does that, if he focuses on what's good for the people and not get dragged into this ancient, dirty, pernicious, silly sort of schoolyard gang warfare that has permeated British establishments, there is a potential for a dramatic leap forward. I'd be very surprised if a free trade agreement wasn't signed in the very near future. I'd be very surprised if the economic benefits of such a free trade agreement didn't start to flow into this country. if they flow into this country and the relationship between Bharat and the United Kingdom becomes even more profitable and economically advantageous, then Britain could not only not need Europe as much as it has done, it could actually become a leading partner with India, into which Europe could then be accessed and Europe could be put into place. So there is a potential for a dramatic change, and I think he has the courage, I think he has the support system, and I know for a fact that all of our Bharatiya family here, irrespective of whether you're traditionally Labour or Lib Dem or Green or Conservatives, all of us have felt empowered to see this development. It's given us a great deal of confidence, and we will support him to the best of our abilities so that he can do good work for the nation.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.